No, I'm gonna die here. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, you have to learn it first.
Yeah. Well, on the bright side, there's no ice.
Boss time. Oh, it's Penguin. Batarangs. Use the batarangs. Oh, good.
Oh,
he can block too.
Block. Isn't that lovely?
Can you jump kick him? No.
Oh, that's it for my batarangs.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, go back up on the umbrella. It may take a while.
Hey,
He only drops.
If it's safe. If it's safe, then you do it. Oh boy. Well.
So much for that. He drops 4 bombs and then comes down for me to punch him theory.
Do you have to get away from him, like, so much, or?
I have no idea.
Can you grapple hook him?
Oh, you know what?
No, there it
I
is.
wonder. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be cool. You can use it as an attack.
I don't think so, because he starts to throw the bombs as soon as he comes up.
Just try it again.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, it was just kind of a thought.
It was a good thought, actually. Nope. Shit. Oh my god, you can. It's just very picky.
Okay. Take it again. What's per pegular health?
Trying to determine how you get higher points.
Oh,
fuck yes!
Is that a box?
Another fucking life box, baby!
How did you do that?
I don't know. Maybe the game took pity.
Yes.
I guess, just take it.
Well, bad news. He blocked
He's
my
short. It went over his head.
I was say he blocked my batarang.
It's almost
easier to fucking hit him
Let
than
him
it is
fly,
when he's
yeah.
on the fucking ground. This is sad.
Oh, that was
No.
interesting that it missed him.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because it has to like go either right up his crotch or hit his umbrella arm.
Yeah. Well, when he comes down too, you can slide.
Shit. Now he's being a dick.
Just
Okay.
get back in your groove.
There wasn't one.
Yeah, you were in a pretty good groove. Become Stella again.
Yeah.
See? There you go. Please tell me that as he takes more damage, he gets faster. Just trying to think of ways that they're gonna make this more unfair.
No, I should have slid out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that you can just kind of walk up and down to avoid his bullets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of just trying to bide my time until he decides to go up on the umbrella.
Oh, I know.
How did that
Okay,
hit you?
I don't know. This is fucking bullshit now.
His life bar. Just hold on. It's starting to take. Oh boy. Oh mama. It's Half-Life.
Come on, Uncle Cobblepot.
Your life bars are almost identical. Oh, would you just fly?
I was gonna say, is he gonna be one of those dicks and just never fly again?
Yep, he's gonna move back. He wants to shoot you. Maybe if you come a little bit his way? No, not now. Oh, come on. Why?
Come on.
He's just gonna keep on backing up.
I don't know that.
Yeah, he just keeps backing up. No. I feel like he stops flying.
Think so.
I think so. I don't think he's flying anymore.
I think you might be right.
Oh, no. There it was. Well, do we get to keep the box?
I would assume
I think so.
Yes, and it's full!
Well, that's something.
Yep,
That should be the end then.
yep. It's not, well, maybe he was.
Because I think it might have been like the last quarter of the life. Because remember, they were really close. Okay, I think this might
Now
be
it's it. Oh, yeah, wow, now he lunges at you. Yeah, turn off your...
Okay, the planes are fucking shit.
I'm glad
Oh,
that
boy.
he uses the same tactics. Off the screen so that he's got a free hit on you. I think you got it at this point.
Yep.
One or two more hits, and you've still got
I got
over half and one box. Yeah. Hey, you got a box back.
Now you gotta fight the Super Penguin!
Wouldn't that be funny?
He's
He
just gonna,
grabs a different umbrella.
yeah, he's just gonna fall. Okay. Is that it?
Wow, that's not an annoying background or anything.
Holy cow.
But it's not doing it on there.
Well, that's because that won't pick up such a heavy flicker, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it's gonna show even in our capture, but because I do flicker removal,
Uh-huh.
so it might not show, but the entire background's doing nothing but flickering right now.
It's doing
Yeah.
that like that solid black to white flicker,
God.
which is annoying. Hey, good job on that one though. You notice the names though? They're all like Alfred something.
yeah.
There was Two-Face.
No. Mozart. Oh, Kinoshita. Oh.
You took too much time to get
here. Try getting here sooner.
As in, our score was way too fucking high.
Yeah. I could care less. But at least a penguin showed up with his cute little rocket jetpack.
And it says the end. I'm satisfied.
It does.
Fuck it.
We did it.
Batman Returns in the bank. 4 hours and 10 minutes.
That's wow. Wow. To be quite honest, we had made it through the first, like, 3 or 4 levels in, like, an hour, and I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, 2-hour game, not a problem. I was not expecting... Yes, I was not expecting that.
Nope.
At all.
Wow.
Oy.
So I am happy
All right.
with it being 85-15. Paul?
90-10.
Oh no, 85-15 because I came up with this. I got there first.
90-10.
I was the first one to break our cold streak of getting to the second set of demons.
90-10. I gave you Joker. Or not Joker, I gave you Penguin.
I don't think you could have pulled it off.
I most assuredly could have pulled it off.
No, it's Paul.
Yes, I could have.
I got lucky enough that we got that second health box. That really did help. Because I don't think you would have made it to the second set of demons. I think you would have died again.
That's not from the movie.
That's awesome.
The penguins.
Of course they are. That's why they were the best part of the movie.
Oh, God. No, fine, 90-10. I don't give a fuck. It's done.
It is done.
I'm just happy that I happened to get us there, and I broke our cold streak. I'm happy with the 10. That's fine by me.
So, what do you give this game for difficulty? This is going to be another difficult one to give a difficulty to. Because
So,
7.
it is unlimited continues, but that doesn't guarantee you're going to beat it. The game technically gets easier the more you die because it gives you more health. Mm-hmm. There's that weird unknown point system, which we did look up how that breaks down. It's like every so many times you get hit adds a certain amount of points to your total. It's like 8 points by a minor enemy, 12, 16... 20 and 24 by like the medium enemies.
Yeah.
And then dying adds like over 1,000.
Dying adds 1,000 something. You have to basically beat this game without dying a total of, it's like, what did I say, 5 or less to get the best ending. Clearly we did not pull that off.
No, we sure didn't.
But with that hidden factor is really, to us that's pointless. Like, it's basically just beating the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to judge it on. I'm going to go... I'll go with my gut for right now. My gut wants to say 7. For a beat-em-up on the NES, I love the variety of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I do. But the controls are too sloppy for their own good, and the enemies do not help with the sloppy controls.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting at 7... But maybe you can assuage me one way or the other.
I personally am going to go with a 6. And here is why. Is because, yes, the game is difficult, but obviously you do have the unlimited continues. Yeah. However, it does not guarantee that you are going to beat the game with the unlimited continues, because we were really, with the one box of energy that we had a really difficult time even making it to that last...
The last seal.
Yeah, that last seal, and it was just out of sheer luck that we got the second box.
Yeah.
Basically. Which then gave us enough life to basically just walk through the level and then beat Penguin without, I would say, without much difficulty.
I had one whole box left, right?
You did.
When I got to that final thing?
You sure did, yeah. Wow. You had more than half your life and you still had a box. And then I think somewhere in there you also got to 20,000 points.
Well, I know when I killed him, it gave me 20. It gave me...
Oh, maybe then. Okay, because I saw that you got another box.
Yeah.
But I feel like the controls make the game difficult because there was so many points where there was too many things happening, too many enemies on screen where your inputs started to become affected by it.
And it's any time you were going down.
Yes.
Because down in B is the block, down in A is the slide.
It's not even
Up in B is your weapon if you have it equipped.
But it's not even, but that's not what I'm referring to though. There's too much going on where your inputs don't actually they're not getting pressed. So it's like, if you're sliding on the ice, if there's more than 3 enemies, half the time, your punch, when you push punch, it's not doing anything because it's just, there's too much stuff going on.
Against those knife women, it was the most apparent. Where you go from a jump kick and then you want to go to a punch while they're stunned.
You can't.
But because the button press didn't register, they are too fast and they hit you.
You literally land and you're just standing there like, okay,
like an idiot.
What's he doing standing there?
Yeah,
just
punch. I'm mashing the button, and it happened a lot with the clowns. And
So yes, that is where the difficulty comes from, and I have a tough time saying that I am going to up it to a 7 because of the controls. However, I am going to give it the lower than that 7. I'm going with the 6 because we sort of put ourselves in that situation. There were a couple of other locations where we could have gotten boxes, where we could have gotten items that would have helped us, that would have made it a little bit easier down the road. Because once we got that second box, all of a sudden the game was just basically unlocked. It was...
Well, that and it was the tactic of hugging the top of the screen against the knife window.
Well, it was also...
certain enemies just... Because they can only come at you at that plane.
It was also that, but it was also the jump kicking, too. We started going, instead of just brute strengthening the run, we started jump kicking and being a little bit more strategic.
Try to do the stun.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like we kind of handicapped ourselves. So... That in and of itself, I do think that it's a 6 because it got exponentially easier once we got that second box. If we had that second box like out of level 3 or out of level 4, we probably...
I mean, even with that one box, I made it to Penguin with like a box and a half that first time. I had a lot of life that first time I got to him because I did my tactic, because the reason I'm going 7 is because the planes of their attacks versus the planes of your attacks are vastly different.
Yes, it is.
How many times were we getting hit and then, like, theoretically, we should be able to punch them because they hit us, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
We would get stun locked.
The hit detection was bad. The hit collision was bad as well, too.
So it's like that's kind of where I think my 7 is coming from, is the fact that their hit boxes for you were a lot wider than yours were.
At least I'll give it to you. I'll up it to a 7.
All right, that's because they're, especially those knife women, had such a variety of attacks, and they were just so quick. They really came at you, brah.
Because they could also move and recover faster than you could recover from your jump.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were the dash move, especially, like they would turn around and just instantly dash right into you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
The same with the somersaulting acrobat women. Like they seem to just always catch you.
Yeah.
The fact that most of those enemies, like the demons, could swat you out of a jump kick or a slide. You know, like there is so much against you that there should have been things like certain priorities of your moves should have overridden theirs.
Yeah.
Like those flying gnome Kevins, they're like the few enemies you could jump kick out of their attack. Mm-hmm. There weren't many, but them you could. So it's like, I don't know, the game priorities are a little weird.
Well, and then to be honest, that bat ski level was completely useless. There was no point.
It was just to get points, batterings, and to get things. To get your health back.
To get your health back.
Before that.
But at that point, they could have just dropped the items at the beginning of the stage and not have done that. There was no reason for that level.
And I'm not going to lie, to be quite honest, that made me dizzy as all get out. I did not like that level at all.
Was that something he did in the movie? Was he in the bat ski?
I mean, I think at some point he may have been.
Maybe that's why they threw it in, because as far as a reference goes, well, I guess... Well, yeah, 7 for difficulty, I think, is right.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll bleed into fun as far as movie accuracy. Obviously, I've never seen the movie, but from what you guys said, this is pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate movie-wise. I would say they kept it pretty tight to the source material.
So, frustration aside, the game was still pretty enjoyable. Like I like what they did with it. I do like the varied amount of enemies. I think they were designed really neat. Mm-hmm. It sure, we had palette swaps, but it wasn't like they palette swapped him 3 times. It was just the 2 times.
Yeah.
So there were 6 or 7 varieties of enemies?
I think 7 varieties of enemies, and then there were unique boss characters.
Yes.
That were actually, I mean, from the movie. There was the big clown guy. There was the Although he wasn't a boss guy, but the Jack in the Box guy, the
organ grinder.
The organ grinder. He was in there as well too. He had the monkey. Do you remember that? Yeah, he had the monkey. I don't. Obviously, Penguin and Catwoman were in there as well too. You had the battles with them. So, I mean, honestly, I can't fault it for like
being a movie license.
Being a movie tie-in. It was fantastic. It was everything it should have been as far as that.
And I think that it pulled very well in terms of like what Batman, like there weren't enemies that didn't belong there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they even had the skull riding motorcycle dudes, which you showed me a picture. Like they actually got the enemies fairly faithfully.
Yeah.
So fun-wise, sloppy controls aside, I might still sit at a 5. Because I do kind of like it. Music wasn't bad. It's Konami. I mean, their songs are always good. It got grating because we were on it for 3 hours. But...
So I actually am sitting at a 5 too.
Really?
As well.
Okay.
But that's because I cannot separate the irritating controls out of it. This game could have been really good.
Yes.
I mean, literally, with tighter controls, I would be sitting probably debating whether or not it would be a 7 or an 8.
I was agreeing. The first few levels, I was
really enjoying it because there's not many games of these beat-em-ups. Even like they didn't start until the Super Nintendo era, where you could literally have like branching pathways and different pathways, and that was really cool that they added that in.
Even just that there were hidden items in the level in general was smart. The fact that in those rooms you could pull down the chandeliers with the grappling hook, we didn't do it, but you could apparently do that.
Well, no, just like based on the way things looked in this one, it almost seems like this version was an afterthought again.
Oh, like this was in development for the SNES?
Because like
this was 92.
It was Super Nintendo, Sega Master System. It was on the Lynx. It was on the Game Gear. It's basically, it was released on like every system at the time. So it's like they were like, well, we're doing all these other systems. Why not throw Nintendo a bone as well, rather than just saying we're doing the Super Nintendo and be done with it.
It was 92, and obviously the Nintendo was pretty much on its way out at that point. It started its decline.
What did we play that? Like, something was made clearly for the SNES, but they threw a NES version on it, and it was so bad in every way.
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Maybe? There was something we played where we were like, the Nintendo version was just so trash.
Yeah, but that was also,
we also
Hudson,
had that
Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk.
With the Game Boy version.
The Game Boy version was so much superior.
Sad.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
But to be quite honest, I mean, and that's why I'm sitting at a 5, is it's
clever for a beat-em-up.
I like the cleverness of the beat-em-up, which you did not see in 1992.
Double Dragon games
you didn't
horrible.
you didn't see that. It had great music, because obviously Konami was really good with their music, so there was... Each level felt unique, and it felt like you were going through the story. It literally felt like you were watching the movie, just kind of like playing the movie. So, I mean, it had so much going for it where I would be sitting at an 8. But the fact of the poor controls that make it more difficult as you get further into the game because they start throwing more at you. Therefore, there's more chances of input lag, of just straight up you push a button and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The difference that... or what you had pointed out as far as the planes of where you're hitting something, that really got frustrating, where you are literally flashing because you have taken damage, so you're like, oh, well, I'm flashing, may as well just kind of lay into it so that I can get some free hits. And you didn't get free hits.
No.
You didn't get anything.
The cannon guys, those cannon gnome dudes, were the biggest offender of that.
And especially where you're on the ice, obviously, that was something to make it more difficult. So you would just try to lightly push up so that you could start hitting him. But, of course, it didn't matter how hard or soft you were hitting up. You were just going to that next, wherever the stopping point was because of the ice. And there was just so much that was frustrating about it that... as much as I would want to come back to this game, and I could probably see myself coming back to it, I wouldn't come back to it as often as you...
Like a TMNT 2.
As much, yes, exactly. There was so much better beat-em-ups like TMNT, it sucks that it didn't have the branching paths, but it was done so much better.
Well, and we had mentioned it too, is the fact that the background is just straight left to right.
Yeah.
Whereas TMNT, you're going up and down, you're going at the angles, like there's shit happening. Yeah. The backgrounds were so bland sometimes.
You know, I'm surprised.
As it's Konami, like
I'm so surprised that at this point it was a beat 'em up, it was Konami, there was no elevator.
Yeah.
Well, instead of the elevator, you went up the fire escape.
Yeah, I suppose.
But there was
there was literally nothing.
Pointless.
There was nothing. If they would have even thrown in one or two enemies, okay, maybe I could see that. But literally, it was almost as if it was teaching you how to use the grappling hook.
I was just about to say that. It almost, hey, you guys have a grappling hook. Remember? Because we didn't even know, like, hitting select did anything. We didn't know we had batarangs. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, oh, maybe you should just hit select and see what you got.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that's what
and there
you got.
It was.
So, yeah. Even, like, it's sad to say, but Penguin felt like one of the easiest bosses in this game.
It was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that the grappling hook, what else you have to do?
Yeah.
Like, even those last few hits I had to take on him.
You jump kicked him and then just waited.
Jump kicked him. Like,
that was
just,
it. Jump kicked him off screen and then he came back to you. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, because you could just clip him with your foot and get him. Like, I don't know. The organ grinder was the hardest boss by far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna go 6 because of the branching paths and stuff, but and just the thought that like you could get the test tubes to reduce Catwoman's health by half, or there was something else too you could have done in the first level, but I don't remember what it was. But
either way, it
was neat.
It was great, but it felt
the flaws
like
keep it at a 5.
It felt like it overpromised and underdelivered.
Yeah, yeah. It had such good. We had such high hopes for it.
Yeah, we did, and it definitely, yeah. I think the expectations were a little bit too high, especially once we realized that the paths branched.
Yeah.
And I so wanted to continue liking it, but after the 5th and 6th levels, it completely destroyed my feelings towards this game.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that's a 7 for difficulty, a 5 for fun. What did you pay for Batman Returns?
I paid $3.99 for this game.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby because, according to PriceCharting.com, as of this video, loose, card only, it is $24.95.
Do you think that's worth it?
Now, this you might not agree with me. I think it is. I think you do get your money's worth out of it. Yes, it's going to be frustrating, but you do get your money's worth out of it. You get a classic Konami score. You get a variety side-scrolling beat-em-up, which you didn't get much of on the Nintendo.
True. And
you get a pretty solid movie tie-in game that was very true to its source material.
Do me a favor. What do the Master System and the Super Nintendo versions go for?
Well, the Super Nintendo version, I think, goes for about the same. Hold on.
Because if you can get superior versions for the same amount or less, why would you go for the inferior version?
I don't know. But I will.
Super Nintendo. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's Batman Returns. $23.80.
So about the same.
About the same.
Master System.
Sega Genesis was $10.50.
I don't know how that plays on the Genesis.
It looks like it only came out on the Master System in the PAL regions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense.
But even so, well, we don't even know if they're superior or not. I mean, we've never played the other versions, but
it's hard to think that they wouldn't be, especially the Super Nintendo.
I mean, to be honest, Final Fight for the Super Nintendo is worse than Mighty Final Fight.
It was.
Granted, it's kind of two different games, I suppose.
Mighty Final Fight's also
the
the more cutesy.
It is. It's the chibi characters.
It's the more silly take on it, so of course it's a little bit.
It is, but I like it better because
it's a better beat 'em up.
The first one is just it's blatantly unfair in many places.
Yeah, but you might be surprised, but I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's worth it.
I think there's a lot. There's a lot to
Not only for the tie-in, but because there's a decent challenge to it. Like, in terms of reaching a better ending. Because there's 4 different endings. We got, obviously, the worst. There's a bad, there's a good, and then a best. I mean, challenge yourself. I mean, I think we could, if we did this again, I think we could get at least the middle 2. One of the other 2.
Oh, for sure.
Because now that we know how the game functions, we know how it plays, we have the logic of it, I think we could pull it off. I don't know if we could ever get to the best.
Probably do it much faster, too, than we did.
You know, technically, I think they said to get the best ending, you have to die 4 or less times, 5 or less.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could do that.
We probably could.
I think we could.
It would all just be based on if we could get those boxes early on.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
Because I agree, though. I think there's enough here. It's a gorgeous game to look at.
It does make you want to play it again.
Yeah, for 92, it's not terrible.
No.
There were much worse beat-em-ups in this era.
Oh, yeah.
Like I mentioned, Double Dragons. I don't like Renegade. I don't like Target Renegade. No. Like, I don't like a lot of beat-em-ups on the system because they are just not good.
I still think that the Double Dragon series on the Nintendo is still probably the most overrated trilogy in... like for the system.
100%.
Is people think back fondly of the Double Dragon games, and they are, for the most part, not great.
No. Even as much as people love Battletoads, it's not a good game. When you really... I mean, we haven't beaten it on the channel.
No.
He's beaten it in his personal life. I was going to say we've, but I've never beaten it.
You never have.
But I have gotten close. I have gotten to Revolution on my own.
Yeah.
But... it's when you really boil down Battletoads, it's not good.
No,
and I think that judgment is based on people's view of the first 3 levels because that's as far as they can get.
Yeah,
Speeder Bike is the best example of it. We can beat it fairly easily, but when you look at all the levels past it, what does it turn into? A shitty, unfair platformer.
Yeah, basically.
You're dead, and it's all one-hit kills. Getting sucked by the fans, getting squished by bosses. Revolution itself is just one big death trap.
Yeah, for the most part.
I mean, the game is it's not good as a platformer, but it's also not good as a beat-em-up. So it's like, just like Double Dragon, highly unfucking fair. And it's clunky to play. This actually, with the controls being sloppy, was still decent to play. I don't know, but I agree. Yeah. I think it's worth it for the 25 for the challenge. So that'll do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Hopefully.
Misery.
Have you guys ever played this game? What do you think?
Yeah. Are we full of shit? Are we up our own asses?
Are we just bad?
Well, that's a given.
I at least carried
90
myself.
10. Oh, did you ever?
I did my portion.
You made up for Widget, my friend. Widget and Gradius. You made up for it. But yes, so you can always shoot us an email at nespowertrip@gmail.com with suggestions, advice. God, have we gotten a shit ton of advice for Ultima.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. I will be taking your advice into advisement. And I was kind of ready to put Ultima on the back burner and do something else, but...
yeah, we're going to keep going.
I think we're going to keep up with Ultima.
We're going to keep going.
But, yeah, you can do that.
You can check out us on iTunes and Spotify to listen to our podcast, BTG Powercast, where we talk about anything that we want.
Anything at all.
What?
You can always message us on Messenger. I know some people...
you already said that, dude.
No, I said nespowertrip@gmail.com.
Oh, that's right. Messenger.
Some people have been contacting us through Messenger through our Facebook.
That's true.
Which is... wonderful. Yeah. I try my best to keep up with that. What else? Did you say PowerTripGaming.tv?
I did not.
You did not. PowerTripGaming.tv takes you right to the channel. Watch our other movie license games. Die Hard, the best one we've ever done.
Jungle Book. That was a movie tie-in.
There's a lot of movie tie-ins we've done.
Yeah.
Some Home Alone.
Hudson Hawk.
Sticking with the Christmas theme. Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Yeah. So there you go. Next time on Power Trip.
We'll play something better.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
If only he had a machine gun.